So here we are with our first essay of the semester, the argument of fact essay. The argument of fact essay is to be a minimum of 1,500 words. So there's your first minimum requirement, right? 1,500 words, in which you present and support an argument of fact as defined in Everything's an Argument, Chapter 8, which you should make sure that you read very carefully. Your essay must cite a minimum of 6 sources, 5 of which originate in print or have print analogs. So when I say originate in print, that doesn't mean you have to use a print copy, but it does mean things like books, newspapers, magazines, government reports, academic journals, and so forth. For example, if you get a copy of the New York Times, you can get it either online or you can get it in print. Same thing. These sources must be presented in correct MLA fashion with parenthetical in-text documentation and a works cited page. Dictionaries, encyclopedias, and other general reference works do not count as sources, which doesn't mean they can't be used. And they can be used, and they must be cited if they are used, but they don't count towards your minimum requirement. Now, at least 2 of your sources must be from scholarly journals. You will find scholarly journals in the Mesa College databases such as JSTOR or EBSCOhost. When you use EBSCOhost, be sure to click on the peer review only option. Your essay must contain at least one table or figure properly noted and incorporated into the text, found on the MLA website. And here you have a link right here. I'm not going to click on it now, but if you did, right, that's where it would go. You must also provide a word count of your essay at the end of the text. Okay, so that's usually pretty easy to find on your computer. Do not include the name block, works cited page entries, or table or figure in the word count, because that's not what we want. Now, the topic will be a topic of your own choosing. As I say, I don't like to tell students what to write about, but you do need to have a sense of what's a good topic and what maybe is not. There are a few topics that are off limits. I just don't take papers on abortion, death penalty, child abuse, and religion. Just avoid those altogether, please. Certainly, there are many other topics to choose from. Remember, good writing begins with good ideas, but good ideas are not easy to find. Honestly, typically the first idea you come up with may not be the best. It's the same first idea a lot of other people come up with. So search around a little. And of course, there is a handout also posted here on Canvas that does give you a sense of some topics. And again, that's not supposed to be a limiting idea, right? It's not trying to say you can only use what's on the list. In fact, I encourage you not to use what's on the list, but just kind of see that list and see the kind of topics that we're talking about. Now, we don't just give an assignment and then expect a perfect final draft. We do a few steps in between, okay? Kind of make it better this way. So the first step is to write a proposal to me. You are to submit a proposal to me on Canvas by Monday, February the 12th, 11:59 p.m. Okay? So you have a little bit of time here. Now, the point of giving you all this time is, of course, to help you try to find a good topic and develop your proposal of that topic. The proposal should be written as described in Chapter 8, pages 180 to 181. Now, if you go to your book on pages 180 and 181, you're going to see a couple things. First of all, it talks about Tolman model. Ignore that. Okay, just ignore the Tolman model for right now because I haven't taught it. We will learn it later this semester, but not right now. Instead, you're better off just simply putting in your thesis or hypothesis, which is your proposed thesis. Then I want you to answer the questions that are bullet pointed on page 181 near the top. Alternatively, you might describe the complications of a factual issue, yada, 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 and then, use those bullet point questions. And again, it's helpful if you just keep the bullet points and just answer them, right? Then I want you to have 3 sources in an annotated bibliography, which means including an MLA entry and a paragraph of description and evaluation of each source. If you want to know what I mean by this, because this may be something new, and I rather expect it is, check out the sample proposal in the factual module. Okay, there's a proposal there. There's also a video that goes with the proposal. Look at the sample, watch the video, figure things out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. However, writing me with a question at 11 o'clock on February 12th is not going to work because I'm going to be in bed asleep. Okay, so make sure you have your questions out a little earlier than that. Now, after the proposals are done, you will be basically working on your roughs. Your rough draft will be due Wednesday, February the 21st. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create work groups for you guys, right? Typically groups of about 4 students in each group, depending, maybe one is 5, one is 3, we'll see. For peer editing. In other words, you're going to submit the draft to me, and then you're going to also submit it to your group. So you actually have to submit the rough draft twice. Now, this is all electronic, so it shouldn't be a big deal. I will describe step by step how we do that in a later announcement that you'll be receiving. Okay, so you won't be, cast out into the wind with this. But think of it this way: your rough draft is due Wednesday. After that, you have 2 days to read the drafts that are in your group. So let's pretend there's 4 people, you're 1, there are 3 other rough drafts. I want you to read those 3 other rough drafts and fill out a peer editing sheet. I'll be posting the peer editing sheets again. Actually, they're already posted. And you'll have to have those done by Friday, February the 23rd, 11:59 p.m. So you get 2 days basically to do this. After the peer edits are done, you revise and polish your essay. In other words, I want you to look at the peer edits that were done for you, see what other people had to say to you about your rough. Make it beautiful, make it as perfect as you can. Turn it in on Monday, February 26, 11:59 p.m. No late essays are accepted without verifiable medical or legal excuse, okay? So let's just go back over the minimum requirements, because again, I like to say that this is really what defines the essay. It needs to be at least 1,500 words long. It needs to be at least 6 sources. You can always have more. At least 5 of those sources originate in print or have print analogs. At least 2 of these sources are scholarly sources. By the way, it says scholarly journals, but I would also accept dissertations or materials from a university press book. In other words, like a book that is published by Oxford University, Cambridge, Harvard, that kind of thing. You see them all over the place, to be honest. Your essay also needs to have a table or a figure, and of course, MLA documentation. So the subject is argument of fact. Make sure you read Chapter 8 and also Chapter 4. And if you haven't seen the video that I constructed to introduce this module, please make sure that you watch that video as well, because it does a halfway decent job of trying to define exactly what we mean by an argument of fact. Again, as always, should you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you.